Alright everybody, let's get on into the game. Hello everyone, it's me, it's Mr. 79 on this glorious morning of January 30th? No, 27th, 28th, 20, okay, January 29th, 2017, and we have a nice CVD to start your day. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position of Proxima Station, representing our red Zerg player, he is TheMassivMan. Obviously taking some liberties in referencing his favorite community streamer when naming himself. Nudge nudge, wink wink. That's me kissing the microphone pop filter. And the top right hand position of Proxima Station, you didn't need to hear that. Representing our blue Terran player and his opponent, it is Yeyeftw for the win. Oh man, you know what? Even though it's not technically a polysyllabic, like I can pronounce that Yeyeftw, I'm not going to. And you know why I'm not going to? It's because I have the courage, the audacity to know what FTW means. I didn't know what it means. Okay, fun story. My cousin asked me what it meant one time, and I literally had no idea. This is in that stage of my life where I was still figuring out what acronyms were, and I had to guess them. Like NAFTA, like NASA, I was like National Astronomical Space Association, and then I googled it to see if I was right. So I saw FTW was like, you know, F the world or something like that, right? And I told that to my cousin, and he threatened to tell me, and I was 8 years old, and I was a scared little boy. But now I know what it means, hopefully. Anyways, let's get into the game. Yeah, for the win. Oh gosh, I want to punch myself just saying that. We'll call him Yee. We'll call him Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo is going to go for a nice old gas first into 2 racks. Okay, looks like he's going to be opening up 3 racks Reaper. You know what? On these new maps, I really love 3 racks Reaper. Well, not on Proxima Station for obvious reasons, but let's see. What is that really good one? Palladino Terminal. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. You know what all players do on new maps? They cheese. And literally, that's the best way to figure out a map. Is you may think it's bad, but it's not bad when a player cheeses on a new map. They're trying to figure out, you know, how can you exploit the map? How can you move around it? You know, like these back rocks. That's something to note on Palladino Terminal. Oh, we're on Proxima Station, so I'll talk about Proxima Station. It's a very defended map. It's very easy to defend against 3-Rack Reaper. So, yeah, for the win, it's gonna learn the hard way that this is not the map for that. But he is learning the map, and cheesing is often the best ways to learn a new map. Anyways, let's see what our friend TheMassivMan is going for. As you can see, he went for a hatch first into a gas, into a pool. Nothing too remarkable from TheMassivMan. Gonna see the first Reaper right now. I doubt you'll have any inkling that it's your Reaper nonetheless. And this drone needs to make... Oh, it actually dives in the... Oh, okay, dived in the extractor to escape the Reaper temporarily, while the Lings chase it away and say, "Leave our Zerg buddies alone," and then they get blown up by the Reaper. This is taking a lot of damage. They need to stay on creep. Yeah, losing 2 unnecessarily there. Drone gonna go ahead, try to... Oh! Yeah, for the win. Yeah, for the win. Hey, look at that. Okay. I know, I already won't punch myself. TheMassivMan is going to get his Queen's bombed a little bit. As he sees this 3rd Reaper, he should know that, oh, baby Jiminy, I just made 3 drones, and this is 3 Racks Reaper. He has 2 Queens that are poking away, actually getting 1 Reaper, so a little bit of sniper control there from Yo-Yo. 3 more Reapers on the way. No end to this aggression just yet, and as I say that, 1 SCV is beginning production. Probably a mistake, as he's already oversaturated. These 3 extra SCVs could have been used to get this a little bit earlier, and there wouldn't have been a huge income difference. That is A-okay. Gonna use those KDA charges, gonna blow himself back. Actually damaging this creep terminal just a bit. Gonna go ahead and try to poke around at his queens, but good macro by MassivMan. And oh boy, MassivMan could surround Yo-Yo here if Yo-Yo's not careful, and yes. His ship has been forced off the high ground. Now, no, don't pursue. Actually, that is a lot of speedings. You can pursue all you want. Who am I to say? Yeah, look at this. They're gonna get a full surround. Nice job by the Lings, and all the Reapers should go down. And now, MassivMan is gonna learn the hard way that you cannot bust this ramp very easily as a Zerg player. Or, you know, you can. It's just harder because the ramp leads to the natural, so it's gonna be difficult. But yeah, MassivMan taking a massive advantage in this game. 38 to 28 total workers, and the Terran is not going to move out anytime now. We should be seeing a 3rd base very soon, and yep, MassivMan is in position to take that, so good play though. These Reapers probably going to outstay their welcome. A couple of speedings are probably going to get munched up for breakfastissimo. Gonna go ahead and spread his creep down to the low ground. Has more speedings, but you can't trickle in speedings. They have strength in numbers, and actually I think he may have underestimated the aggressive potential of Yo-Yo. Is he going to poke away at this hatchery? That is the main question. There are more Lings on production. It is currently Only 8 Lings at the moment, and 2 Queens, which can definitely hold this off, but definitely can't pursue it, so gonna have to see how MassivMan controls this engagement. Losing 1 Ling, not a great way to start, but not horrible either. Gonna go ahead and scan for the creep troopers. Excellent move there. Gonna go ahead and cancel the creep troopers as well. Actually cancels the space. I think that was a mistake. Poor MassivMan. Delays his hatchery by around 30 to 40 seconds. And look at this, trickling Lings onto the Reapers. Oh boy, they're starting to gain critical mass, ladies and gentlemen. This is catching our friend MassivMan completely off guard. Usually you transition off of Reapers by now, but he is just relentless with his Reaper aggression. Gonna go ahead and trap for some more, but Speedlings, you can't, don't do, look at that. Oh boy. Gonna lose a couple of their numbers for some Reapers, and now 35 to 34 total workers. Where did that lead go? Nobody knows. Oh, I know where they went. They went in all of these Zerglings. Unfortunate, because MassivMan kept on beating out huge amounts of Zerglings. One could say massive amounts of Zerglings. And yeah, those are drones he couldn't have made. He has to stay back on creep. There's no need to push this back, MassivMan. You don't need to push this back. You don't have to push this back at all. You just need to be defensive. And I'm very surprised we haven't seen a Roach Warden just yet. Generally, a couple of Ravagers easily shut this down. Ling trying to find their way across the map. Definitely scouting out the layout of the map. Gonna go ahead and see if they can wrap around and go back into the main base somehow, some way. And the Spire actually on the way before Baning's Nest. Ooh, pretty risky play here from MassivMan. But you know what? I kind of like it. I mean, what do you do after 3-Rack Reaper? 3 CCs, don't you? Double Engineering Bay also, if you're feeling a little bit greedy. So Yo-Yo probably won't be able to move out of his side of the map anytime soon. The Mutos are going to do a great job in harassing him and definitely keeping him on his back foot, as there is no pressure in sight for Yo-Yo besides for this small group of Reapers. Actually, Lings also spring themselves up again. Look how much value these Reapers are getting. 1 kill there, 7 kills there. It is absolutely mind blasting, not glowing, blasting, because that's what KDA charges do. They don't blow your mind, they blast your little mind off. I almost lost my voice there for just a second, but we should be okay. Over gonna inadvertently, in his horror to escape the Marines, maybe gonna let them scout out the horrors of the debris getting knocked down. Debris is gonna take a long time to get knocked down by these things, undoubtedly. But that is AR right. Banning Nest now coming on down, and Spire almost finished up. He has enough larvae, I hope. Yeah, enough larvae to make around 6 Mutilas as soon as this pops. And look at this gas bank disappear. Right before your eyes. Real magic, ladies and gentlemen. Right before your eyes. Okay, actually macroing some Zerglings to get these Reapers first, but I mean, at this point, you can just kind of A-move on the Reapers and, you know, make you Mutilas. Make the Mutilas. Waiting for a Mutilas. Alright, maybe he just wants to feel like a rich boy, which is, you know, fine. I myself, oh, okay. Spends all of his gas on 7 Mutilas, and plus 1 fire attacks on the way. Looks like a Lingbane Muta style for our friend MassivMan. While Yo-Yo is going for the more traditional bio play, he is only now getting his tech lab, so... Oh wait, never mind, there we go. Stem is about to finish up. I was very concerned, because generally, you see a tech lab, the first tech lab coming up at 8 minutes for the Terran player, and you're like, that is the deadest Terran player I've ever seen. But no, he did have one over here, researching Stem, probably gonna get combat shields any moment now. Look at these Marines, pretty naked, don't wanna lie. Nice link counterattack there, killing around 1 worker, and that is more than Yo-Yo for the win, can actually say. But he did a good job with the Reaper Heads. It did kind of what it was supposed to. He killed a lot of Lings for a lot of free. For only his micro, which is pretty good. MassivMan still knocking this down, and Yo-Yo still has no idea that this is happening, so we're gonna have to watch out for that. Muta's gonna come and find a completely unmolested mineral base and said, let's go ahead and molest this mineral base. By molest, I mean annoy, you filthy, filthy Starcraft players. Gonna go ahead and pick up a decent amount of Mutas before flying away, so picks up 5 with that attack. Maybe 6? No, gonna have to run away before that happens, but these debris, I mean, with time and tide, all things shall fall, and it looks like these things are gonna go ahead and go in. And are they rally to go in after this gets done? No, he does know, and he does shoot himself into the main base. Meanwhile, Mutas are gonna go ahead and wrap around and try to hit this 3rd base, but 3 turrets on the way should stop any attempts of that. And now all the SCVs are back into this main mineral line. And you know what? MassivMan is tired of being pushed around. Gonna go ahead and do his own pushing on the Terran player. Definitely what you want to see. Lings in every single base. Lings over here, where they were. Lings over here. Mutilas over here, taking down constructing turrets, taking down stray Marines. Have to be careful not to fly into this group of bio. He's flying into the group of bio. Oh no, he may lose all the Mutilas if he doesn't react. In case you didn't know, he did not react. Oh boy, MassivMan had a massive lead there. I mean, look at this, 25 workers killed, but I mean, losing all those Mutalisks, he had a nice flock of wreck around 8. Like, imagine if this were, let's see, he has what, like 5, 6 here? Imagine he had these 6, upon that 4th had 10. Imagine 18 Mutalisks compared to 10 Mutalisks, right? I mean, this opposing bio push seems much less scary, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, man. Man, poor MassivMan doing a massive miscontrol there, but it shouldn't be too much concern. He definitely needs to knock down these rocks to gain easier access to this gold base, but he is not doing that just yet, so I do have some concerns for him. And actually, yeah, the bio is going to set up right along here. I don't think there's enough army, actually. 50 to 74 total army supply. Definitely the exact opposite of what you want to see as a Zerg. You cannot engage this. It is better to lose the base than lose the game. Gonna go ahead and roll on with his banelings. Anyway, gonna go ahead and look for connections, but he's not giving to him. A horrible misengagement from MassivMan. Gonna lose the 4th base and his army when he could have just lost the 4th base. So definitely needs to work on his decision making just a bit. Mutalisks now realizing they're gonna take down the breeze, but the Terran player turns and says, "Here, let me help get that for you." Gonna go ahead and take down these rocks. And, oh boy, it's 52 to 70 to auto supply. He's gonna need a miracle. Miracle achieved! There are a lot of good pullback on the Marines and the Marauders took the damage, but a huge melee connection nonetheless. You still have to split Yo-Yo, and yes, he does finally eventually get pushed back, but that was a really costly trade for MassivMan. Yo-Yo now finds himself on equal-ish footing with the Zerg player. It is +2/+1 attack to only the 1/1, so he definitely had an upgrade advantage during that fight. Killed a lot of the swarm very effectively and took out the 4th base, so Yo-Yo definitely gonna feel happy with himself for that. Again, if he just had 8 more Mutalisks and maybe took a little bit of a better fight, oh, it would have been a whole different story, man. That's the amazing thing about Starcraft, right? The smallest mistake in the early games can lead to instead of it being a, you know, like 9-10 minute game, can lead it to be a 20-minute back and forth phenomena fest, right? I've had the feeling all too many times. Look at these Mutalisks, gonna get picked off for free. 100 minerals and 100 gas goes down for absolutely nothing. Links going in completely unsupported. Mutalisks trickling in. It's another horrible disengagement from MassivMan. I think another 4th base is gonna get cancelled for our friend MassivMan. And yep, gonna go ahead and get the cancel. Yeah. Oh, it was grosser than usual, which means that it was a kill, not a cancel. Gonna go ahead and split to the best of his abilities. Not bad at all, and still a large amount of Marines to contest these Mutalisks. They need to do some fancy stacking in order to not die, but these are some very low energy medevacs. A huge swell of Ving should be able to clean this out, and with the Mutalisk support, probably he can move in right now, but no one can blame him for not knowing that at the moment. He doesn't see the army at the moment. Gonna go ahead and poke out with the Mutalisk. He does see that there's a lot of Red Marines, but you know what? Red Marines can still kill you. And gonna go ahead and pick up a couple for free. Nice move there, but gonna go ahead and maybe lose a Mutalisk. No, yep, the target fire is good. Does lose a Mutalisk. So not the best trade there for MassivMan. It's 132 to 106 total supply. And let's look at the unit's kill tab. Yeah, that is the story of this game, folks. And you know what? Yo-Yo has actually caught up on the workers kill tab. So great play there for our friend Yo-Yo. Man, MassivMan. Let's analyze this later game right now. Gonna go ahead and take this safer 4th base location. Or is it safer? Yeah, it's a bit safer. It's a bit harder to engage. Your Terran player has to knock down some rocks. It's easier to split in this huge location versus this small choke point. So I guess that is a safer location. MassivMan realizing that, I'm going to go ahead and take it, and who can blame him? Because 124 to 130 total supply in favor of the Terran player. Yeah, you are going to need a couple of miracles to come back in this game if the Terran player is good enough. Is there a 4th base for our Terran player? That is the big question. In Legacy of the Void, it's all about the 4th base, and it's only halfway done. But then again, so is this base, so it's pretty even. Gonna go ahead and throw down another base over here, just in case one of them dies. I like this. MassivMan realizing that if Yo-Yo pushes in over here and kills this base, he's probably not gonna go ahead and check for this base. And if he kills this base, well, then he has this one to fall back onto. So I like this play from MassivMan, guaranteeing himself at least one mining 4th, which is so important. Gonna go ahead and draw back all the units for this engagement. Can't lose those medevacs. He already has a pretty big deficiency. Only 3 medevacs to heal all of this. But lots of Ling Bang. Gonna go ahead and flood on in. No splits whatsoever. And Wurdermine is doing actually friendly fire damage. Bane's getting huge connections. Oh man, the best games are the games of throws. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? I think he can actually contest it if he just stacks his Mutalisks and brings on the Lings and Banes in support. But it looks like there is going to be some pressure put into this base. He has to wait for this next Link cycle, and it actually does get the cancel. Thank God MassivMan has this base to fall back on, and that might have been the end of the game. Meanwhile, some Lings over here trying to do a little bit of work. Not sure how much exactly they got done. Go ahead and put the Mutalisks on top of this army, fighting with desperation, and yes, does force the Terran player back. Has to watch out for the Wittermines. Okay, did watch out for the Wittermines. Are there any Overseers in the map? Actually, no Overseers whatsoever, so MassivMan are gonna learn that detection is needed the hard way. Oh, actually, not as bad as it could have been, but losing a Muta and losing a couple of Lings and Bane, definitely not what you want to see. 10 kills on that Wittermine, 12 kills on that one. one Overlord over here, just looking kind of lonely. Let's take a look at the upgrades. That is so important on this matchup. Okay, so it's 2-2 and concussive shells, stem and combat shields. Pretty normal for the turn player. Is he working toward that 3-3? Not yet. And you know what? The main limiting factor of your upgrades in this matchup is how much gas you have. And right now, Yo-Yo has a lot of gas. You can spend that 500 minerals, no problem. That's like, what, 10 Marines to get 3-3 upgrades? Yes, thank you. And actually gonna force the lift up on this command center, while actually forcing a stem out to go ahead and destroy these debris. I'm not sure that was the correct call. He's already very low on medevacs and very low on medevac energy. Look at that, 3 health points in that one. It's very bad indeed. Another stem coming out just to chase the Mutalisk away. Yeah, I know you like to stem. I know every Terran player I've ever known in the history of Universe likes to stem, and actually, hold that thought. Links can actually come here. Losing a good group of 20 links for absolutely nothing. You want to check the units lost tab? That's what I thought. Anyways, gonna go ahead and actually, MassivMan looks to be aggressive, but we all know how good Terran is defensively. Unless he doesn't split, good splits, not amazing splits, but actually pretty amazing splits. As soon as I say they're not that great, Mueller's taking down the Marauders in front, and these Banelings all should not morph. They're finished to morph. That is a lot of costly units made for a friend MassivMan. Can he do anything? Those did act as a good meat shield for the Mueller. It's gonna allow them to clean up house, but there are a lot of missile turrets here. Probably can't take those bad boys out without suffering severe losses. At this point, just pick up the medevacs, pick up some Marines, Marauders, accept your bad engagement, and move on with your life, MassivMan. Move on with your life, MassivMan. Oh boy, some of us learned that the hard way. He's not doing any Mutalisk stack. He needs to stack his stuff a bit better. I saw a Widowmine! I did not see a Widowmine. I was just worried that I might have seen a Widowmine. Anyways, reinforcements should be able to chase Yo-Yo away from this 4th base location of MassivMan. I'm liking this game so far. Thank you to whoever sent this in. I will give you so many hugs and kisses if you ever see me in real life. If you don't know what I look like, just, you know what I sound like. Like, seriously, how many people sound like me? Go ahead. I'm not white bread, you know. I have a distinct timestamp to my language. My mannerisms are also from the 80s, so... And I use the word mannerism, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Actually, I hope that thought. Losing a couple of Mutalisks over here, definitely not a good thing. In fact, he can engage this if he so chooses. This is a very Scarlet-esque style if you've ever seen her play. Her meter control is immaculate, and she loves these big flocks of Mutalisks, especially in Heart of the Swarm. Oh boy, it was amazing play. But, you know, Widowmines are pretty good versus that. This is very Heart of the Swarm style, so... Let's see... I lost my train of thought. I am sorry, folks. Let's see. What is going on? Is there a... Oh, that's still a layer. Okay, MassivMan. No one actually getting their 3-3 upgrades. There we go. 3-3 just started for our friend MassivMan. What are the odds I get that wrong again? Man, the caster curse is so real, man. I always thought it was just like a thing casters do. Like, oh, look at me. But seriously, as soon as I say no one has the 3-3 upgrades, bam! Like, immediately, like, Yo-Yo is just like, screw you. This is like, look at that. 3-3 and +1 vehicle weapons. Just to piss me off. Oh boy. So MassivMan, currently in the state of the game, you are surviving, not really thriving, and when you know what's up all the Okay, glad you heard me. I was speaking Mutalisk there for a second. I used to be able to do a great Mutalisk impression, but now it's just kinda like, which is, you know, pretty bad. So Mutalisk gonna go ahead. Need to work in that macro a little bit. This is keeping MassivMan in the game for sure. You need to start taking up toward Hive. I know it's a very difficult thing to do, especially when the champion has put on this much pressure towards you, but you can't just stay on layer tech. Ask any Zerg player in ZVT if the Zerg who stays on layer tech the longest is the loserest. I swear to you, there was an idea and a sentence there somewhere. +2 fire carrier is on the way, so not bad. Actually gonna go ahead and find a weakness in the defense of Yo-Yo. And Yo-Yo actually just gonna push right on across the map, saying that's a lot of Mutalisks, and if your Mutalisks are there, I know one place they're not. But actually, this is a pretty nice choke ramp. Actually, I think this isn't the best way for Terran to engage. This 4th base is actually heavily protected if you're a Zerg player. But he is going to go ahead and send a couple of Marines here to clean this, to try to pull the army out of position. Meanwhile, that's just a diversionary tactic. Look how fast this hatchery dies. Blah! It's almost as if Terran has immortals with his army. Big Widowmine shot, taking out a couple of drones. And finally moving on in is the Lingbane. And where are the Mutalisks? They need to come over here to support this army. And a lot of Banelings, they're actually getting themselves into a corner. Not what you want to do versus Banelings at all. Taking some massive losses, splitting to the best of his poor Terran abilities. But he's losing a lot of army. Oh man, 59 to 42 total workers. A good position for a Zerg player to be in. And actually lose... Ooh, that's a diversionary medevac. Saying, if I'm going to lose these medevacs, which I am, I'd rather I lose 2 than lose 3. So forcing the Mutants to split up their attention. Nice little cute play there, saves them 1 medevac, but it's 144 to 82 total supply. Not over for our Terran player. I feel like if he waited for 3-3, that attack would have been monstrously good. But he did not. He does have his 4th base up and running, which is definitely keeping him in the game. His 3rd base, though, is losing saturation. 5th base now up and going for our friend MassivMan. And that was actually 6th base, so he was on 6 bases, which is definitely a good side. And he actually had to float one of his orbitals over just to make a living. Right down over here. So he does have his 5th base well established-ish, or getting established. So that is definitely going to be the lifeline as well as the 3-3. Lots of mulas in the sky definitely thrive when Terran is hurting from not having a lot of units. Because look at that, 200 minerals down the drain. And look how mineral starved our Terran friend is. Definitely not a sight to behold if you are the Terran player. So these mulas gonna go ahead, see a hell of a lot of missile turrets that are not being repaired, which are not very good missile turrets as it turns out. Unless they're versus anything else but mutalisks. But it turns out it was good enough to repel them. Okay, that's where I was going. There we go, Hive finally on the way. Great play there from MassivMan, realizing that staying on lair attack is one of the ways he loses this game, as well as fatty Widowmine connections, and he's not gonna uproot. Yeah, okay, good Widowmine bet there for our friend. MassivMan just wants to end the game right now. Gonna go ahead and stand back. They don't call him Widowmines because they don't kill you, you know. Huge Widowmine connection. That must have been like 20 or 30 banings and things. Getting absolutely melted. Thor getting picked off for free though. MassivMan still has this impressive flock of mutalisks. To fall back on Widowmine shot. Not going to get off. Oh man, and MassivMan taking a horribly inefficient engagement over there, but he did wipe out a lot of Terran. But there are 2 more medevacs and a Thor and Marauders and Widowmines on the way, so we can definitely kind of replenish that with the next cycle. 153 to 109 total supply. I swear to you folks, the game is not over yet. Terran can still do a strong 3-3 timing very, very easily, and the Zerg can miscontrol, and we all know what happens then. But I digress. Ultra's Cavern on the way. Plus 2 Fire attacks almost finishing up. Adrenal Glands and 3-3 are coming down as well. Ultra's Cavern almost finished and getting 10 more workers. Yes, you cannot go to Hive on 61 workers. It is impossible. So realizing that he needs a bit better saturation, which who can blame him? He gets his gas going a bit better, gets his minerals going a bit better. And we're gonna have to see what... Okay. We're right here, Widowmines, and whoa. Was that from the Thor? Oh boy, folks, I think Thors have just hit the arena. Look at these 2 Thors on the way, and just like that, I think the Mutacloud has been nullified, which is actually a huge deal in this game, because Thors are such a strong anti-air unit. If you haven't known, their recent buff to their splash damage versus air does horrible things to mutalisks, and we've seen MassivMan have not the greatest meter control this game, though it has been fairly impressive. Gonna have to see how that works out. Gonna go ahead, you can pick off a Widowmine with a big flock of mutas before it shoots, but deciding not to take the risk because Thors are there, Bio is there. Gonna go ahead and see if you can defend this final push from Yo-Yo. It seems desperation almost. But look at that, I think, what is it, 5 vultures in protection. If you can hold on to those, this becomes a much easier hold, but there are a decent amount of Marauders, there are Medevacs, there are Thors, which should do fine-ish. Well, actually, they're not. We'll say they're not horrible versus Ultras, right? And going for the big link sandwich is our friend MassivMan, actually setting up a beautiful engagement, making up for the trillions of. Actually, no, it does not make up for the trillions of horrible engagements he took, because he's moving in with his mutalisks, not realizing how much damage they do. But the Ultras come in. He was just buying enough time for these bad boys to come out, and now this Spire has to stem all the way home. But unfortunately, the mutas are there to slowly pick off at them, and losing his whole army there is Yo-Yo for the win. 79 to 155 total supply. And now speaking louder because I thought we might have seen a GG from Yo-Yo, but not yet, still holding on. 2 Marauders, 3 Widowmines, and 6 Marines in production. We're gonna have to see what Yo-Yo for the win does with these. Oh boy, it's not looking good. Is he pulling the boys, or is he just transferring? I think these boys are being pulled, but do you know what Ultras say to pulled boys? They don't say anything, they just go shwink, 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 and the SCVs know their time has come. And you know what, just engage in this armor straight up with this mutalisks. Knowing there's not too much area you can do. It seems as though the numbers have thinned out a bit from that engagement, maybe losing 5 to 8, but probably not going to matter too much. This 98th base location is going to go up barely uncontested. Yo-Yo can't afford any drops to deny anything. His lifeline base is starting to run a little bit dry on minerals, and he only has 1 of them. And look at this final stand here from Yo-Yo for the win. Gonna pull the boys, but look how fast they evaporate. He needs the Widowmine shots of a lifetime, and he already exhausted those earlier in this game. It seems as though MassivMan is out macroed and out controlled. Yo-Yo for the win. Getting pushed back all the way to his rallying production. 3 Ultras very, very, very angry at the Terran player. And nothing Yo-Yo ever could produce in this short amount of time can take care of this army. 154 to 40 total supply, 38, and that's an LQQ rage quit from Yeyeftw for the win. Victoriously win this game, and the Massive Man knows he is done good. And he's just gonna eat these buildings to his heart's content. Let's Ultras go completely ham. And you know what? They deserved it. They worked very hard this game. Well, as we wait for this thing to go, as we wait for Massive Man to slow down on his catharsis here, as he ends that game really quickly, I feel like, okay, he did leave the game. Let's see, Yeyeftw for the win, definitely. Just needed to work on his splits, you know. I mean, of course he had great Widowmine shots, which were amazing, but you could see, like, you know, versus Banelings, he would run into a corner, and, you know, he just wouldn't split his army very well. Just something fundamental skills you need to work on as a Terran player. We're not really strong in this matchup, and, you know, they're called fundamental skills for a very good reason. Was not able to get a high enough Liberator count to deal with these Ultralists, and consequently 5 big daddy space cows. They can do horrible, horrible things. If you don't believe me, just look at this main base. It's not supposed to be on fire and desolate, I tell you that much. Yeah, good play there from Massive, and it definitely seemed as though he had a very good understanding of the game. He knew that he was behind and what he needed to do. This double take of the 4th base right here, and what really propelled him into a great position in that mid game. Taking some great engagements, knowing how to get his rounds off. Did take a couple of poor ones over here, but overall they were not half bad. Yeyeftw for the win, just needed some better fundamentals, and maybe he could have done better in this game. But shoulda, coulda, it is the story of StarCraft. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. You can go ahead and leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it, and it helps me out more than you may think. Got something stuck in my throat. Leave a comment down below if you are so inclined. You can subscribe to the channel for more daily StarCraft 2 content. If you want to support your local community casters, such as myself. What else was I going to say? You can send me your replays at Mr789@outlook.com. I'll say that a bit slower because I know that's something I need to work on. Mr789@outlook.com, just like the channel at outlook.com. Whew, and remember, folks, the internet could always use more heroes.